Well, today we're gonna make something really yummy. We're gonna make a rolled cake, a red raspberry and cream filling. It's gonna be so delicious. So for my cake, I'm going to use a regular cake mix and not make it from scratch, and just follow the directions on the back. You could use white or you could use the yellow, and put parchment paper on a 13 by 18 sheet pan and bake it at 350 for 12 to 15 minutes. Okay, so while the cake is baking, I'm getting it all ready for when we flip it and we roll it, because we're going to roll it when it's hot. So I have a tea towel here. You want to use not a terry cloth towel. And then I sprinkled powdered sugar all over it. So we're just going to leave it like this until the cake is done. Okay, so now the cake is done. I went around the edges with the knife to make sure it was unstuck. And now wish me luck on this. What you're going to do is take the cake and we're just going to flip it right on this tea towel with the powdered sugar. So here we go. Okay, so now what you want to do is you want to peel the parchment paper off. And just kind of take the tea towel like this and just start rolling it up. And then we're going to let this cool. And it's going to take a few hours to cool. We want it room temperature. So it looks like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on a cookie rack so it gets the air underneath. And we're going to set this aside and just let it cool for a few hours. Okay, so the next step, what you will need is a stick of softened butter and 8 ounces of cream cheese and a cup of powdered sugar. And then I have the whole raspberries, and I got a bag of them, and they were in the freezer, so I thawed them. But you don't have to use raspberry if you don't like raspberry. You can use strawberries. You could use blueberries mixed with raspberry, mixed with strawberries, you know, chopped up peaches, whatever you and your family like. Okay, so the cake is almost cool, so I'm going to get my little hand beater, and we're going to put in the stick of butter, and we're going to beat this till it's nice and fluffy. Okay, so this is all nice and fluffy, just like this. And here is the raspberries that I had in the bag. And you just kind of crunch them, mush them down a little bit like this. And I took out about 8. This is just going to be for garnishment. This is about a cup. Okay, so this is all nice and cool. So we're going to unroll it. Okay, so we spread it all over, and we're just gonna start rolling it just like this. Okay, so I have my little plate, and I'm just gonna roll it right onto it, just like this. And you can clean up the edges after you get it on. Okay, so here's the cake, and now we're gonna make it a lot prettier. And here is a half of the whipping cream and a fourth. So that makes 3/4. And then I'm going to do a nice tablespoon of the powdered sugar. And now I'm just gonna beat it until it's all nice and fluffy. Okay, so the whipping cream is all really nice, and as you can see, nice and fluffy and real stiff. So we're gonna use that in just a second. And now, on the cake, on the edge right here, you want to just trim it. So when you serve it, you know, you see a nice inside. So we're just gonna take this little piece and we'll take it off so you can see the inside all pretty. So we're gonna sprinkle this all over with powdered sugar. So now the whipped cream I'm gonna put into my pastry bag, and I'm using the star tip. And then with the reserve little raspberries, I'll put a little raspberry on top of each one so people will know it's raspberry. There, how pretty is that? Okay, so let's cut a piece of this. A nice piece for the mister. He will love this. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming into my kitchen. I hope that you will try this. It was so easy and it is so delicious. We'll see you next time.